All right, everybody, welcome to the For the Love podcast.
Welcome back.
Yes. We've got like a delight and a joy for your ears today. That's what it is. Today is fun. You're going to be very, very happy that you hit download today, and you are going to get so tickled, and you are going to feel seen because we've got just a vibrant guest today. Is that a good word for her?
Yes.
Vibrant.
And if you listen closely, you can hear me snort laugh.
I think I might have too, actually.
Yeah.
When she was telling that one story, I think I made some very unattractive sound.
She's funny.
She's funny. But so before we get into her book, we're talking to an incredible author whose book today centers around women, like the women who raised us, the women who mentored us, our friends, our sisters, our cousins, like the women that we have created our personal stable with and their impact on our lives. And so before we bring her on, she's got a chapter about casserole tears, and she's talking about the women in her life who consistently show up for her at an impossible time when everything is ruined or terrible or broken-hearted, and they, obviously they show up with a casserole or whatever it is that you need. I could talk about this for 20 million hours.
Right.
What is your experience here? Or your thoughts on that?
Two of the most impactful women on my life when I had little kids. I don't see them anymore. Like, we were such good friends for a season. But they both showed up for me in ways that honestly changed my life for like that year. It was after I had my fourth kid.
Yep.
I was in over my head so bad. I was so sick. One of them just said, I'm going to do all your grocery shopping for you for 6 months. I think I've talked about her. Like, I just printed out my grocery list.
Amazing.
And once a week she would come and get it in my debit card, and she would go shop for me and then bring my groceries to me.
That is
and this
so
was,
amazing.
Like, there wasn't grocery delivery back there.
That's
back
right.
Then.
That's true.
And then another one offered, same one, that fourth one was a little baby, that preschool pickup situation when you've got a sleeping baby in the bucket.
Oh my God, I remember that.
It was I couldn't do it.
Yep.
It broke me every Monday and Wednesday. And she finally said, come early, which was a big thing for me. Come early, park next to my car. And she would get in my car and sit with the sleeping baby, and I'd go inside and pick the other kids up and come out, and then she would go in and get her own kid.
Just so dear.
It changed those whole days for me, and she did it for months and months. And I would have I didn't have the capacity to think of that solution.
Sure, of course.
She just said, this is how we're going to handle it. Because she would see me in the hallway, broken.
Totally.
Trying to manage all the stuff and carry the bucket. And she was like, this isn't sustainable.
Oh,
I'm going to sit in your car.
story.
I know.
And some women are in our lives just for a season. That doesn't mean something went wrong, that they're not. Right. Some friends are seasonal, and that it makes it no less important, like no less wonderful, no less. I have seasonal friends too. I mean, sheesh, though, when I think about the women who show up, of course, I cannot help but just go to my more recent history. So, you, of course, being one of them. And that, for me, came down to a really small handful of people. Really, really small. And those women, I cannot even fathom how I would have recovered from the, surprise loss of a marriage during COVID without you. I really don't. I cannot, my brain breaks when I think, gosh, what if those women didn't just do all the things they did? I can't even think of what that story would be. You are in the new book several times.
You did ask permission this time.
I did. Again, I want credit for that because nobody can understand how many times I have written about you in my books and you find out when they're published.
That's correct. And I'm furious.
Yeah, I know it. Because also you're private and I'm not.
Right.
And so.
But this time you asked and I said yes.
And I sent it to you. Yeah. And I'm like, can you fact check this? And I just want to say that is really impressive of me, given my history. But one day, and I'm not going to tell the story too much because it's in the book that comes out in September, but you came over so this was my house, but so many bad things happened here.
Yeah.
And you were like, you didn't even really ask me, right? What did you say to me?
No, finally the tables were turned. I did not ask.
You did not ask me.
I mean, I think I said, like, leave the house, take your kids, be gone for half a day.
That's it.
I'm going to sage your house.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm going to sage your house. And you didn't ask me if I wanted that. You were just like, I think you said I need 6 hours.
Get out.
Yeah, I don't care where you go, but it can't be here. And this whole story is in the new book, including everything that you said. But you came in having deeply prepared for that process. That's and true. Saged the entire house. And I know I've talked about this on the show before, but I wasn't positive if I was going to stay in this house at the time. It was so early on. I can't remember when it was. But I mean, it was still, we were just reeling. Like, it couldn't have been 2 or 3 months after.
Yeah.
And I was like, God, should I move? I don't know what to do. And I had all this nighttime fear, not like fear about my life, fear about an intruder, like that kind of fear. I was scared to sleep alone for all my marriage, really. Like I was always scared when Brandon was out of town. And you came in and you just saged the entire house. Is highly spiritual. And I told you, that was the last night to this day I have ever been scared at night. Ever. To this day.
I honestly can't believe it.
Ever.
But also I believe it.
Yeah, I do too.
Because I was there.
Yeah, exactly. Now I will worry about other things that I can't control, like feelings things. But that brand of fear where I thought, oh my God, how am I going to ever sleep again? That was the last day that I was ever scared. So, and that's just one of many things in the ways in which you showed up for me that year. And my group of women saved my life. That is one chapter that our guest today included in a whole series of hilarious and also heartfelt essays about women. Because today we have got Melissa Radke back on the show. If you have ever loved a woman who taught you how to cuss and how to pray in the same breath, you are going to love today's episode. Melissa has actually been on the show twice before. And so this is her third time around, which we're going to talk to her about right when she comes on. She's got real ideas for her fourth appearance, which you'll hear in short order. But Melissa, she's a whole mood, you guys. She's a whole vibe. If you don't already know who she is, Melissa Radke is an author. She is a speaker. She's an East Texan with a big old fat Texas heart and a sense of humor that is just kind of through the roof, to be honest with you. You probably know her from her viral videos, of which there are many, or from her reality show that she did with her family called The Radkes. She is the best-selling author of a book called Eat Cake, Be Brave. And now she's back with her latest book that just came out, and it is called Chicken Fried Women. And it's just this incredible collection of stories about the women, as she puts it, who raised her, wrecked her, and rescued her. And every single one of us can relate. She's absolutely Southern to her core. And what I really love about Melissa right now in her season of life, she and I are the exact same age. She's just this very fierce advocate for women, being comfortable in their own skin, finding their own voice, shedding the garbage, like living in freedom and in joy. And this is our whole deal here. Like that is absolutely what we are aiming for as well. And so she's so fun today. We, as mentioned, we giggled so hard, we snort laughed a couple of times. She's just delightful. So you are in for a treat. We're thrilled to have back on the show the absolutely lovely Melissa Radke. Melissa Radke, you are now on this show for the third time. And I don't know if anybody has been on this show 3 times.
You don't think so?
Let's see. Let me just do a little quick. Maybe Ian Cron.
Oh.
Maybe Ian Cron. It is a small little stable of superstars, and you are in it. So, welcome back.
Thank you. I think that's really cool. It's like SNL, the 5-Timers Club.
That's right.
Oh, yeah.
I feel like I should send you something.
I would tell you what, if I'm ever on here a 4th time, which let's be honest, I will be. I want a velvet robe with a 4 on it.
Oh my gosh.
Okay.
Will you help me remember this?
I will remember.
Okay. I feel like that is important. And I feel like I could be like such a fun hero if without any ado, you just opened up your mailbox and there was a velvet 4-timer robe.
I know, but only if it's the 4th time. But if it is the 4th time, for sure, I want one.
And
Okay,
4 just seems to be like the magic. Is 4 the thing? Because it's just so rare to go 4 times. Yeah,
4 has
that's
got to
right.
be the thing because you can't do SNL 5. You know what I'm saying?
You're
Like
right.
that's theirs. For
You're
the
right.
love. For the love.
Oh, she found it.
Oh my gosh.
She found
y'all.
it. It came out of your mouth and then you heard it.
I heard it. Mhm.
I like that because I don't think anyone's ever been on 5 times. So nobody would ever get a robe.
Right.
So,
That's right.
Okay.
All right. Well, guess what? Noted.
Okay,
Noted.
thanks.
Also, I would like a velvet robe.
Would you?
I mean,
What's not to love about that idea?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to workshop this, you guys.
I could
Okay.
up
I'm
the
gonna wear it,
ante
yeah.
on my soft clothes.
Yeah.
Just go to a robe.
Yeah. I'm going to workshop this. This is so exciting. We're so excited to talk to you about your new book. It's so you. It's so you. It's you down to your bone marrow. And every single thing. Obviously, all the stories, but the title, the cover
title.
design. I mean, come on with the cover design. Weren't you so tickled when you finally landed on that?
You know what? I was. It's so. The thing is, everybody keeps saying, "Who is this little girl in rollers?" And I'm like, I don't know who she is. It's supposed to be the reason that her back is turned is because it's supposed to be all of us.
That's right.
It's like all of us went to bed with those sponge rollers
That's
in
right.
our hair at some point. And then if you turn around on the back, there's the back of the book is a actual picture of me in perm rods, which
Amazing.
I
Oh,
was
say
doing
less.
until the late '80s, for God's sake.
100%.
Yeah, I love how it turned out.
It's so fun. Did your mom make you do the sponge rollers ever?
Well, it shouldn't make me, but I attempted it sometimes, but my hair's so straight that
it wouldn't hold.
And in San Antonio with the humidity, like
Oh,
30 minutes later, it sticks straight
was
again.
gone.
Yeah.
Not
So
me.
it didn't matter.
Mine took to those sponge rollers like a fish to water, and not in a good way. Like
And
not in a good way. Like they were so tightly coiled to my head,
Uh-huh.
and they just would not relax. And
But
then mom
did you
kinda
ever
done
see
helter-skelter.
anybody in sponge rollers that you go, wow, I love how that turned out? I don't remember ever seeing anyone. Why did we do it?
Why did we do it?
I don't
That is a
remember
good
ever
question.
seeing anybody and going, dang, girl, your hair looks good. Who did that? Sponge rollers did that.
You're
I mean,
right.
if they were that
right.
great, we'd still be doing it. And we
You're
ain't.
so right. It was
is
the
true.
little girl version because my mom and all of them, like all the moms, they used the Clairol hot rollers, right? Do you know about this? And so
Yes.
this was like the little girl version because I
Right.
couldn't sit there with those hot rollers, and they kind of dug into my head with a little comb feature.
Yeah.
My mom was so not nice about hair. Oh, hush. And so I guess that was the answer. Not that sleeping on those sponge rollers felt good.
Right.
Because, ma'am, it did not.
And now
But-
people are using the heatless rollers. Have y'all seen these? The
Is this
heatless
the kind that
curls?
just kind of pull out?
Yeah, y'all, I have tried it, and I looked like a I'm going to tell you. Well, first of all, I look like a man when all my hair is like pulled tight to my head.
Yeah.
But I don't know how people are doing them, and they're just working magic.
I think I know what you're talking about. It's like one kind of long thing that you wrap around your hair and then you kind of loop it up or some such.
Yes.
That feels too hard for me. I'm sorry. I have limits.
I don't have any upper body strength. I tried to do it, and my hands were tired within like 2 minutes. I had to bring them back down, so I couldn't do it.
I mean, we're not Olympians. You know what I'm saying?
You're asking too much of us, people.
I mean, golly, we can't be good at everything. Jeez.
I know. Amy, your hair is beautiful.
I
That
know,
color
it
is
is.
beautiful. That's very rare for people. I hope you're
I tell
grateful.
her
I
this
hope you
all the
talk to
time.
God about it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I know.
Yes, people say this.
Yeah, it's like silver fox.
It is a
And also,
silver fox.
This is exactly the hairstyle you want to be stick straight. Like
Yes.
with the bangs and the little bob, the little
come
French
on.
bob, which is super popular right now.
I know.
And then this color. This
I
is not
know.
what my hair would look like
Okay.
if I did
Amy,
this.
I just met you. I don't even like you already
Yeah,
just because
exactly.
of your hair.
That's right.
And when I say people say this, I don't mean like, yes, people tell me all the time.
Yes,
Like,
they do.
But
They
I
do.
struggle with a response.
Like right now.
But
Like right now, for example.
I am glad that I don't color my hair anymore. I'll say that.
Oh, I bet.
You're free.
I'm free.
And then when that's your gray, then that you should never touch a drop of dye to that hair the rest of your entire life.
Well, I wish I would have known this at 18. I would have.
Oh, well, you wouldn't have gone. Did you turn gray early?
Yeah, first gray at 18.
You did not.
Yeah.
But she didn't want to be a 27-year-old gray-headed lady.
Yeah.
I affirm the boxed dye up
Yes.
until a certain age for sure.
Yeah.
So yeah,
For sure.
I've been fighting it forever.
I don't even
Oh,
know what
wow.
my
Must
natural
be
color
nice.
is.
Like,
What's
I
yours,
was-
Melissa?
What is my natural color?
Is it what I'm looking at?
I don't know. No.
I don't either.
Oh, no. But it's a mousy brown. I'm not gonna have that.
No, I'm not either.
I'm not gonna have that. I gotta walk into a room and go pow.
That's right.
You know what I mean?
That's right.
That's what I want.
That's right. I was a blonde-headed kid, so I can only assume that is the way Jesus intended me to live.
I know.
That's what he gave me at the
Right.
birth. So
I was a
I'm ex-
blonde-headed kid, but then I was born into a fallen world, and it turned a muddy dirt
Oh, my
brown
God.
for me. So
That's what it is. That's what it is. Just the world out here hating on women.
that's right.
We just can't even be beautiful anymore.
What's up with your hair? As far as you've gone shorter than you've gone, that's short for you.
You've never seen me with hair this short.
Never.
I just hit. Do you ever see yourself in a picture and just all of a sudden it's like you've never laid eyes on yourself before and you just cannot bear to be that person for one more second?
Yeah.
I saw I had long hair for 15 years, I have no idea, in a picture, and I was like, who is that dumb looking lady with that hair? And I'm like, it's gotta go. It's just gotta go. It's just hair. Also, if I hate it, okay, it's just hair.
I'm surprised you didn't do it sooner, honestly, because like a lot of
Mm-hmm.
times when people walk through something difficult in their life, like they'll,
That's true.
and now I'm out of it, and I'm going to change, and I'm going to,
true.
go red and pixie cut. I mean, but
You're
you didn't
so
do
right.
that. You held off.
I did, but only because people told me to. They said things like, here's a list of things not to do in the first 2 years. Let's not sell your house. Please don't cut bangs. Let's just keep it all on the rails.
Okay.
No big decisions. And so I just obeyed them because I thought they had invented the rules and I must follow them. And so anyway, I got away from it and I was like, well, I'll do what I want.
I would not have been that good girlfriend to you because I would have said, listen to me, and you listen closely.
Oh, yeah.
Bangs solve every problem.
God, I know. You guys
Bangs
look at the
pay
both of
bills,
you.
baby. Bangs pay bills.
Bangs
You cut yourself some bangs and have a better day. That's what I would have said.
You guys, cannot do the bangs like the two of you can. And I do not know what witchcraft you have subscribed to. The way your bangs lay so beautifully on y'all's foreheads, mine was helter-skelter, what do you want to call it? Cowlick. Can't do it. Can't do it. So they're like this, and then they're real greasy, real fast.
Oh.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Where the rest of the hair looks fine, and these are all separating into greasy strands.
Oh,
That's not helpful,
Yeah.
That's not going to
Yeah.
get me a boyfriend. So, anyway, that's where I feel about the bangs. All right.
Oh my God. Would you like to start the interview?
Yeah. How about we talk about something?
I love this. I'll do this all day.
Yeah. Well, hell, this is half the stuff that's in your book.
I was
It
going
is
to
true.
say, I
It's
have
this
an
kind of-
entire chapter
yes.
dedicated to how women wear or should wear their hair. And in the
You do.
South, we will tell you how you should
That's
wear it.
right. Oh my God.
Yes.
So right.
Do y'all
So
agree? Do
right.
y'all believe that my mom is right? I want to know from two women whom I love and admire. Is Annette right when she says a woman at a certain age should not wear her hair long anymore? But she says it like this, Melissa, don't you agree that she is too old to wear her hair that long? That's how she says it.
I
What do
like
y'all
when
think?
you do your mom accent. It's very funny.
I
How do we feel about that?
well, I do not want to speak out against your mother. Does
Oh, you
but-
can. Oh, you can.
No, I don't agree. In fact, there's a line in the book about like Southern women don't just talk about superficial things. Like they can be talking about all sorts of like hard, real, vulnerable things. But as soon as a woman over 50 walks by in braids, that conversation stops.
I did write that. Oh my God, I'm so funny. I did write that.
Also, when my hair gets a little too long and I'm camping, I 100% wear braids.
Okay,
fine.
Amy, now you hush your mouth because first of all, we ain't talking about a woman camping.
I know.
That's different.
Really,
I'm talking about.
genuinely.
I saw a woman. She was probably 52. She came and picked her kid up at the high school, and she had 2 pigtail braids. Now that's not right.
Okay.
No.
I'm going to go ahead and side with you on this.
Oh,
Yeah,
no.
and here's the thing: put on a little cap, and you got okay. That's one thing, but no, she didn't even do that.
No,
see the distinction.
I'm going to put on my descent collar.
Okay. You may.
I'm all for it.
You may. You know what? I guess we are just going to let women live with their hair. Aren't we?
Right.
That's right.
It's, to whatever degree they want to do their braids or their like waist length,
You know what?
Crystal
You're right.
Gale, hair.
Because how many times in our life have we been losing it in the areas of marriage or parenting
Yeah.
or just emotionally or whatever, and our hair is all we got. It's all
right.
we got that is
You're
stuck
right.
by us. So let
It's our
us just
crown.
live our life with it.
You're so right. Let us live our lives.
Yes, okay. Well, I'm gonna segue into
Yeah.
your history
Yeah.
and the book. If people don't know, you're from East Texas, Lufkin.
Left.
My people on my mom's side are from Nacogdoches.
Oh, girl, yeah. Okay,
Yeah,
yes,
yeah.
very
Like
close.
9 generations.
Okay.
So, and if people don't understand, if you're not from Texas,
Yeah.
we have all of our ecoregions, and East Texas is the piney woods,
Yeah.
and all of Texas is not the South,
That's right.
but
True.
East Texas is the South,
God,
It
that's
is the
really
South.
true.
100%. So, what does it mean to you, just off the bat, to be a Southern woman? And how has that sort of shaped your voice and your humor? Because it's very distinctive.
I don't know if I can answer how what it means to be a Southern woman. I don't know that. I don't know. One of my very best friends on earth is from Fargo, North Dakota, and she's her and I are thick as thieves. So I don't know that it's really different, but it certainly has shaped my voice.
Yeah,
That's for sure. I think that Southern stories are funny.
I do too.
The question though that I'm curious about though is when a woman from Arizona or Connecticut reads my book, will they go, these are the same for us. These stories are the same for us.
yeah.
We're just doing it in a different part of we're just doing it where it's colder.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
don't know. I'm not a big traveler. I haven't traveled all over. And so I would love to know, are the stories that I've written about the women in the South true for the women in the North and the East? Are they do we just use more flavoring in our food? I mean, I don't know. But so the South has certainly shaped me, but I don't know. Are there women just like us who have the same strengths and the same smart aleckness that they're just all over? What do y'all think?
That's my opinion.
Yeah.
Everybody has like the colorful wild aunt, and like the older cousins who like taught you how to smoke a cigarette and we're embedded in these communities of women, I think, that have a lot of crossover in terms of the amount of joy and life and color they bring to our stories. For sure. Maybe just with some different angles.
Well, I just last night, as a matter of fact, I had the television on, and why in the world it went to a commercial for My Big Fat Greek Wedding 3. I have no idea, because I don't even know when that came out.
Okay.
But as I was watching that commercial, I thought, that's my family, but just Greek. So then everybody must have this, because she has the overbearing mother. She has the aunt that's always in trouble and, flirting with people, and it's a cougar. So this is all over. It's just in different shades.
Let's talk about some of your women, because they are obviously all included. These are your stories. It's your family stories. It's your mama's stories and the older women's stories. It's the church ladies. It's all the women that sort of built into your life. So, I'd like you to talk about your primary cast characters, and you could just say, no, I'm not going to do it. It's going to take too long. But please tell my listeners, for them going, okay, what kind of stuff's in this book? Can you please tell the story about the girdle on Sunday morning and with Aunt Melba? It's just, this bears space in the podcast zeitgeist. Is what I'm saying. Yeah.
There are stories all through the book with these particular women. For me, so I have a group of girlfriends in Nashville, 4 of my best friends, and we call ourselves the Steel Magnolias. That's not original, though, but we do.
Sure.
I have my childhood best friends that I've grown up with since I was little, and we call ourselves the Golden Girls. Not original, but I like it. It fits.
Great.
But the women in my family, I started calling them my chicken fried women. And the reason I call them that is because they're a little battered on the outside, but they're tender on the inside. My mom's a little salty. My Aunt Melba is a little spicy. And that I just began to call them that. And so the women that I'm talking about in this book, a lot of the stories are from my granny, who goes by Granny in the book, and my Aunt Melba, and my mama, and my cousin Meredith, and me. And one of the stories, there's stories for all through the book, and one of my favorites is in one of the very first chapters, and it's about the first bra that I ever owned. My mother bought it at a garage sale off of a dead woman. That's a whole another set of therapy. But anyway, on this particular Sunday, my mom's body girdle came unsnapped. And this is how she tells the story. Melissa, I was the choir director, and I had to go to the bathroom. And I went to the bathroom, and I got that body girdle unsnapped so I could use the bathroom, but I couldn't get it back. Melissa, sometimes when you're just built like a circle, your hands can't reach down there. And Melissa, I didn't know what to do, and I couldn't find you, and I told people to go get your daddy, but nobody did. And so I had to call for your Aunt Melba. But Melissa, she don't let me live anything down. She just wants her pound of flesh. That's what my mother always said about her sister. She just wants her pound of flesh. So she came in that bathroom, and she had to crawl up under me like a mechanic under a big old car. And my Aunt Melba says, Melissa, I had to scoot up underneath your mother. And I had to climb up under her, and I told her, Annette, you've been so terrible to me my whole life. I shouldn't even have to do this for you. And so that is what happened. No, the service could not start because my mother was the choir director, and the choir couldn't start. So the service couldn't start. And so finally my dad had to go in there and say, are y'all in here? And he saw my Aunt Melba laid up underneath near the toilet. My mom having to lean back on the toilet. It was a sight. It was a sight. But she snapped her up. She got her snapped up. But just to hear them talk about it, and they still won't let each other live it down. But those are the kind of stories that make up this book. It's the stories that I tell people when they come on my podcast. They'll say, it's called the Chicken Fried Women Podcast. And they'll say, but what do you want me to tell? The stories that are legend in your family.
Yeah.
That's what this book is made up of. It's the stories that when we go eat Mexican food, we still tell the girdle story to this day.
Of course you do.
And that's, we still talk about the bra story. And how my mother bought it from a dead woman. Now that's inappropriate, y'all.
It is inappropriate, and it's not kind to your young budding breasts.
No,
Like, you
actually, I
deserve to
said-
go to J.C. Penney's and like get a bra from a helper. You know,
I said to my mom, but I'm confused. Didn't you ever get me a training? Like, I don't remember a training bra. And she said, oh, Melissa, you came out wearing a Playtex. That's what she says. I'm big chested. As my mom says, you're built like your daddy's people. So I had a full-fledged Playtex my very first time.
oh geez, oh brother, get me tears.
The book is full of so many funny stories like that, but also really hard stories, sad, vulnerable things that y'all all work through together. And you don't shy away from it at all. So how do you find so much humor in the really hard parts?
Yeah.
Well, I am just going to tell you, I think that someone that can find humor of all things, not appreciation, but humor. I think they're just a different type of person. I think that's just how you're made up. I don't think everybody can do that. That's not to pat myself on the back. I just think that's who I am. If I can't find humor in it, I can't find value in it. You know what I mean? Like that's
do.
just how I operate. And I think that's maybe what women can appreciate with me a little bit, that I can find some humor in it. But yeah, there's some stories in there that, look, when you bury a child, when you go through 12 years of infertility, when your marriage is hanging on by a thread and you have both already contacted your own divorce attorneys and separated the furniture, I can't think for a moment that God had me walk through all of that for it not to be used or not to be a reason. There has to be a reason in all of it. And the unique thing that he gave me was the ability to find humor in it.
Yeah.
So I can, I can go through all of those things with those women and find humor in it. I can talk about the fact that, this is so terrible. We were sitting at my son's graveside service. And my mother, after the pastor had finished talking for a moment and it was kind of quiet, my mother looked at me at my son's graveside and said, why don't you stand up and sing Great Is Thy Faithfulness? And I said, what? And she looked at me, she said, nobody's saying anything and it's awkward. Why don't you stand up and sing, Melissa?
Mama.
That is so my mother. She can't let there be any silence.
Yep.
Okay. Someone has to feel it.
Yeah.
And I knew in that
And
moment.
why not you?
It was either going to be me or her.
Jeez.
My mother is telling me what to do at my son's own funeral. But that's just who she is. I've learned to appreciate that. It was either
Totally.
kill her or appreciate her.
Or laugh at her.
Yeah. And I decided to do that.
I used to always, there's this whatever passage in the Bible that's going through everybody's gifts. Like these are various spiritual gifts that are bestowed upon humankind. And like one of them is, the gift of healing. And so the church has taken that a certain direction for plenty of times, for plenty of centuries. But I have always thought like that people who have this innate gift to find humor, to communicate humor, even in the midst of sorrow, is one of those gifts of healing. I think those are healers in our communities, and they help bring healing to hard places and real life. And so I see that as absolutely a gift. And I can never number how many times I've been on the other side of somebody's gift of humor, and it has just restored me in a way that literally nothing else could. That they could make me guffaw and cry tears of laughter down my sad face and just think, you have just served me with your gift and nothing else could have done in this way. I want to pull up a hair 10,000 more feet up because it's been so fun. How old are you, Melissa?
50.
Yeah, me too. Okay, I'm 50. We're 50. Amy's 53. do I always get this wrong?
Maybe 4.
54. Every time I want to make you 53, so you're welcome.
Amy, go with it. Just go with 53.
Yeah. So we're all kind of right here. And it's been so fun to watch your star just rise in this last decade. And so from an observer's point of view, looking in and with so much of your story that you are generous to share. So we know a lot about your history, and it in so many ways it feels like your life has come to like this beautiful fruition, not really until your 40s. So I'd love to hear you talk a little bit about midlife and what sort of opened up for you? What was it that, if you can look in the rearview mirror and observe at all with any clarity of like self-awareness, these were some of the channels that really couldn't even open for me until I was in my 40s.
I knew you were going to ask me that, and I want to have really eloquent words, and I do have words, but they're not eloquent.
I don't need them to be eloquent.
Because nothing about midlife has been very eloquent for me.
Yeah.
So to give just the listeners who don't know who I am, just a little background.
Yep.
Can I do that really quickly?
Yep, I'd love that.
I lived in Nashville for many years, and I was a session singer. I actually grew up a singer. I talk about it in the book in a chapter called These Double D's and Another Verse, Please. I grew up singing in a Southern gospel quartet with my family, and my family can really sing. It's not like one of those singers that say they can sing, but then you hear them and they cannot.
Right.
We are actually really good family harmonies, the whole bit. Yeah. So I really thought I would be singing. That's what I would do with my life. But long story short, Nashville loved the way I sounded. Nashville did not care for the way I looked. This was back years ago before there were Adeles and Lizzos and all the like.
Right. Yeah.
And so Nashville broke my heart. Those were some very hard years for me. I had several miscarriages, infertility. My son was born. He passed away. We ended up adopting 2 children. When we did, we decided we wanted to raise them around family. And besides, Nashville didn't do me any favors. Yeah. So we moved back to my hometown of Lufkin. We're back in Texas now. And it wasn't until I got here, not in the land where dreams come true like Nashville.
Right.
It was here that a video of mine went viral online, and that opened the door for everything that has happened in my life since.
Yeah.
Now, what I want to share with you is a comment that someone in Nashville made to me. I went back, this has been about 5 years ago, and I was in Nashville doing some work, and I met up with someone who you would know. You would know their name. You would know them, but I'm not going to say their name because I love them dearly and I don't want anybody to be mad at them.
Okay.
But she made a comment. Her and I were having coffee, and we were talking about another influencer online. And we were not talking ugly about them, but we were talking about their schedule. I know they're going here. I know where they're doing that. How are they staying so busy? And she said, I don't know. I don't know how she's staying busy, because the only reason that she's even popular, or the only reason that her career took off, is because she had a stupid video go viral. And I immediately felt like a turtle going into my shell, because that was the story for me too.
Sure.
And she even said, "Oh gosh, I'm so sorry. I didn't mean that. Like, that's still a legit way. I'm not saying it's not legit. It's just she really tried to backpedal." But that stuck with me for a long time. That stuck with me. So a moment ago, Jen, when you said, I think that people with humor are healers. I think that's what Scripture was talking about. I have to tell you, if you had asked me to be on this podcast a couple of years ago and talk about a funny book, I would have been mortified, because I have felt for years that I wasn't bringing anything to the game. All I was bringing was humor. That's all I was bringing. I wasn't a thought leader. I wasn't like these other women you have on your podcast that write these deep theological best-selling books. I'm just a comedian. I'm just funny. I just had a video go viral. But then I grew out of middle age.
Yeah.
and I settled into my skin. I thought 40 was going to be breaking free for me. It hasn't been anything like 50.
Same.
50 has been very, very good to me. Now, not the hot flashes. I could do without those, and not the mood swings. But I feel so confident in my skin in a way that I haven't in years and years and years.
Yeah.
See, when I was 9 years old, I felt the voice of God. And I know that's weird to some people, but I felt a voice inside of me say, I want to use your voice. You have a voice that I want to use. And I assumed that meant, okay, I'm going to sing. I'm going to grow up and be a singer. But I believe that that meant I'm going to use your humor. I'm going to use your voice, literally, to heal women.
Yeah.
I just got off a podcast a moment ago, and the woman said to me, what do you hope people walk away with from this book? And for the first time in my life, with all the confidence in the world, I said this: I just hope they're happy. I just hope it makes them laugh until they cry. I hope it brings them joy. And y'all know what? That's enough.
It is.
It is.
That is
That is a
enough. I don't
value.
have to be the biggest thought leader in the world. I feel so confident to just bring to the game humor, because not a lot of people can bring that to the game.
That's actually right.
And that's what middle age, and that's what this change has done for me.
Yeah.
I'm so much more confident in who I am. Do y'all feel that?
We do, don't we?
Yeah.
We have this conversation all the time. I've said before, I remember when I used to think that 50 was the tipping point for that's when you're an old lady. Like when I was young, I thought, well, that's it. After 50, I just, hang it up. You're pretty much, you're almost dead, obviously. And,
Yeah, obviously.
I guess just try to sail off into the sunset as best you can with these remaining waning years. But now that I'm here, and 50 is so vibrant, like,
Yeah.
we are doing things we never knew we could do. We're smarter, we're wiser, we're better. So now, like, when women ahead of us are saying, oh, honey, wait till you hit 60. I'm like, I believe you. I believe you. And my mom's in her 70s. How old's your mom?
In her 70s.
Yeah. Our moms are in their 70s. And so even watching them flourish in their, my mom going, it's so fun to be, I'm so having the best time of my life. I'm like, I believe you.
Yeah.
I think we're just getting better and better and better. And I wouldn't go back even to 40. I wouldn't go back 10 years ago.
I wouldn't
for nothing.
either.
Not for nothing.
No.
I wouldn't either. And I
Even
know
though-
that women that are listening to this in their 30s and 40s can't believe that.
I know.
Oh, but girl, it's true.
It is true.
Yeah.
Believe us.
It is true.
Like- Yeah.
I dealt with depression in my 20s. I dealt with infertility in my 30s. I dealt with body image issues in my 40s, and they're all wrapped up. I got them all figured out.
right.
And I'm 50,
So
so you know what I'm saying? I don't deal with those things anymore.
True. Golly.
In the book, you have this incredible line about getting tired of playing small.
Yeah.
Can you talk about that? Because that's sort of just a paradigm shift that happens inside of us, where there might not be a lot of external changes, but we just decide not to play small anymore, or we realize we're worth not playing small anymore. Can you talk about that?
I can't. There was a meme or something that just one of those little things that go around, and you'll see it like somebody just wrote it on Twitter or whatever, and you'll see it, and it just simply says, if people think you're too much, you're with the wrong people. Okay?
Yeah.
You've probably seen that. I heard that a lot in my life, that I was too much. And I've always been a plus size woman. So a lot of times I attributed that to my weight, just my appearance in a room. Then you add the fact that, my mother tells me to this day, why do you talk so loud? And so I'm a loud talker, and I talk with my hands, and I laugh. I put my head back and just roll with laughter. So I always felt like I was Shrek walking into a room. I was funny, but I was a lot,
Sure.
And I read that silly little meme one day, and I thought, I might just be with the wrong people.
That's right.
Could this be possible? And honestly, I attribute a lot of realizing that I'm not too much to the women I have decided to plant myself around.
Totally.
I decided to be with people who thought I was just enough and told me on the reg. Just told me regularly. The women that I mean, y'all, I'm telling you, when I say I went through a clearinghouse, I'm not kidding. I even went through Instagram and muted
Yeah,
people
I did that too.
even in their Instagram made me feel like I wasn't doing enough. I just, and I cleaned space in my life too. And now the chicken fried women or the golden girls or the girl groups that I'm with, I just fit so beautifully there. So don't waste another second
Totally.
being around a tribe that makes you feel like you're too much. Find a different one. Go sit at a different table. And so I would attribute, you ask me how that has kind of changed for me. Really, it's the women.
Yeah.
It's the women that have changed that in me.
Love that answer. I had somebody ask me recently, what do you do with, how do you manage female like drama in your circle at this age? I'm like, I don't have any. That was 15 years ago that I put up with that and contributed to it. I'm like, life is just way too short for that. So my world has purged way down outside of those kind of relationships anymore, where you're just always struggling for your footing. And so, that's the fun thing is, guess what? You're in charge. Make your own choices. Move on, move to another table.
Absolutely. Now, as funny as the book is, and it is funny, there is a chapter in there called How to Divorce Your Girlfriend. Because this is something that I did do. When you talk about drama, I divorced a girlfriend years ago. And for very immature, shallow reasons. And I had to pay for that. I had to pay for that. That hurt her and that hurt me. And I have not always been a good friend. I have been a pot stirrer. I have been a drama queen. I have been that in the past. I'm past that now. I'm older, and I talk about the book how I've learned to live peacefully among all men. But I have not always been a good friend. Here's the really great part about that story. I had to eat some crow.
Yeah.
I had to come back around, and she was gracious enough to give forgiveness. I am actually going to be in Nashville in a couple of weeks, having a night with Melissa Radke kind of thing for my book. And she is the friend who will sit on stage and interview me.
I love it.
That's how full circle we've become, because both of us have learned. I learned how to say I'm sorry, and she learned how to forgive. And now we're closer than ever. But I haven't always been good at that. I haven't always been a good friend. And so we even talk about that, how to adult in friendships, you know?
Yes.
So.
Yeah. What's something, now that you're at this age, at this vantage point, that you could tell to your 25-year-old self that would just shock her out of her socks?
Ooh. I think the first thing I would tell her is, it's not going to always be this hard. It will get easier. And you know those women that are raising you? You know those women that are telling you things like, there are some girls who don't have to wear makeup, Melissa, but you're not one of them. They love you. They actually want the best for you. Don't run from them. Learn from them. I wish I would have loved them more earlier on. I wish I would have known how valuable they would be in my life. Those chicken fried women. I think as a young girl, even in my 20s, don't talk to me about my marriage. I know how to do this. Don't tell me how to parent. I know how to do this. No, I didn't. They've taught me so much, and I didn't always value them. And so now I've written a book about these women, and one of them's gone. And I didn't value her all the years that I should have, like I should have. And, but I'm so thankful for the years that I still have left. So I think that I would just tell my 25-year-old self, it won't always be this hard. You won't always be this sad. And when they tell you that cankles run in the family, they run in the family. Use that piece of advice and deal with it. Like they're just trying to help you.
Turn it into a book one day. For that matter, like
Hey,
what that
Nora
is,
Ephron
young Melissa,
said-
is content. Yes.
That's right. Nora Ephron says everything is copy. And when I heard that
That's right.
phrase, I was like,
right.
oh, hells yeah.
That's right. That's right. Everything's material. It sure is.
Love
Okay,
those women and make money off of them.
That's what I did with my kids.
That's
So
what
why
you have
not-
done with your kids.
Why not the women that raised us? We're going to wrap this up with a quick fire. Okay. So you just give it to us. Whatever pops in. All right, here we go. A Southern food you'll fight someone over.
Fried chicken.
Yeah. Can you elaborate real quick? Like, do you have a real specific POV on fried
Are
chicken?
you using a cast iron skillet? If you're not, get out of my face.
Thanks.
I'm not gonna, I can't, don't play with me on how you're gonna, buttermilk.
Thanks.
Jen Hatmaker, how do you make yours?
Exactly like that.
You really
Okay.
do. You soak it in buttermilk with a little bit of Tabasco, just a little bit.
I didn't know there was any other way to do it. That's how my grandma taught me. And so
Okay.
100% in buttermilk, 100% in cast iron. That's just the only way we know in our family.
But what do you fry it in?
Well, I now use a more modern oil, but my grandma King fried all hers in Crisco.
100%. Yeah.
Yeah, all of
What's
it.
your more modern oil?
I don't know. I think it's peanut oil, and I'm sorry. I'm sorry about it.
I'm gonna
I
fight
know.
you when I see you.
Okay, that's fine. You know what? I asked the question and you said it. Fried chicken, and now we're enemies.
Okay.
Okay, you want to take the next?
Yeah. What's the worst fashion trend you've ever committed to?
Even to this day, even.
Oh, I am fully committed as I am to Christ,
Yeah,
to the moo-moo.
great.
And I make no apologies.
Great.
And I thank the person who decided to reframe that and call it a caftan.
Caftan,
I really
that's right.
appreciate it. But
That's
I own
right.
several in all different colors. And y'all, you can find some great ones on Etsy. And
Listen,
my dad still says it looks like a pup tent, but I don't care. You can tighten them up and do all the. I love a good moo-moo in the summertime. Oh, I love a good moo-moo.
yes, live your life.
Yeah.
And I love the rebrand of the moo-moo.
Yeah, I do
The
too. I do
caftan
too.
is just, it's fashion. It's what it is.
Do y'all wear them? Be honest. Jen Hatmaker, I did not see you in a moo-moo.
I don't know if it's I have some like gauzy sheer shawls. And it's like a little wrap around. Is this about the same thing? Or yours is it's a full body, like that's the only.
It's a pull over the head, goes
Yeah,
to
oh,
about
yeah.
the calf, flowy, gauzy moo-moo. You
I
can
love
kind of
this.
cinch it up around the boob, and then you just wear it with some really cute sandals. And if you're going to the grocery store,
Yeah.
add some bangles. Okay?
Oh, solves
Oh,
it.
you can dress up a moo-moo like nobody's business.
Put on your like sunnies in your little bag.
Yeah,
It's like you're an influencer.
exactly.
Who is one woman, living or dead, that you'd bring to your dinner table?
Irma Bombeck.
Good one.
Irma
Good one.
Bombeck. I think that we don't have enough Irma Bombeck writers today.
Yeah.
She was an incredible author
Yeah.
who could literally make you feel like you were sitting at her table
Yeah.
when she was talking about her family. I love her writing. I
Me too.
discovered her in about the 11th grade, and I've read her stuff a million times. So her, and if she was like, I really don't want to come, which she probably would, I would
sure.
choose Leanne Morgan.
She's so great. She's been on this show. She is hilarious.
I love her. I love,
Yeah.
love her.
Just hilarious. In my early writing career, anytime somebody would compare me to Irma Bombeck, I could just fall on the ground.
Oh,
Like,
my gosh,
No
it's-
finer compliment exists.
It is high praise indeed.
Yes,
it is
it
high
is.
praise. Who would y'all pick? I want to know, Jen, who you would pick.
Ooh, one woman. Let's see. If I could pick two, because it's my own show and I can make up the question to suit my needs, my two people that I would have hands down at my table are Tina and Amy. Polar and
Really?
Faye. They are my comedy mentors. Like,
Yeah.
they're hilarious. They write their own material. They produce their own material. They're the lead character in their own stories, and they are so side-splittingly funny and so good together
They
per
are.
your book. Funny women are funnier together.
That's right.
So they're my top rung of the ladder. What about you?
Yeah. That's how I feel about Mindy Kaling.
Oh, yeah. I put her in that category.
Yeah.
Writes
Okay, and
it,
who would you
produces
put?
it, staffs it. Yep.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, I think I would like to. I don't know if I could pick just one, but I'd want to sit down and talk to like my great grandmothers when they're this age, like with their friends.
Oh, yeah. That's
Because
a good one.
we only know them as
Old
grandmothers.
grannies.
old
Yes.
grandmothers, but like I have heard that
Yeah.
like they had great friendships
Yeah,
and they were
Yeah.
funny.
That's so true.
And dramatic, and I don't know them like that at all.
Yeah, you
That's a
don't know
good
them in
answer.
that way.
But they were actual people.
And they lived through such important times. Like,
Yeah.
wouldn't you love to hear them talk about the Great Depression or whatever?
And also like tell funny stories about
yeah,
it.
yeah, that's a good answer. Damn it, you
That's a very
upped
good
me
one.
on that one. Okay. What is the word that best describes you at 25 and now at 50?
Oh, at 25, I was sad. At 50, I'm settled.
Oh, she just pulled that right out of her pocket.
I
That's
did.
good. That
Yeah,
was
that's
good.
I'm sticking. That's my answer, and I'm sticking with it.
So good.
It's a good one. What is your go-to karaoke song now?
Oh my gosh, y'all, listen to this. I just did karaoke like 2 weeks ago because Remy had a soccer game out of town. And afterwards, we had to go get Mexican food. And it was this real small town. So we went to this little Mexican food restaurant. And this couple, who, if they were a day, they were 85.
Yeah.
They were there together and had set up their karaoke machine.
Amazing.
And-
I already love it.
Everybody in there was, I'm talking, it was like a senior citizens day
Sure.
out. This is where they hung out on Friday nights.
Yeah.
And we walked in and there was karaoke being sung. And I was like,
Yeah.
well, I just got to join this. And I do
course.
my regular, which is, she's in love with the boy.
Excellent.
She's in love with the boy. And even if she has to run away, she's going to marry that boy someday. Yeah.
Classic.
That's my go-to.
Trish is my girl. Okay. Last question. This is a question I used to ask at the end of all my podcasts, and you have answered this for me twice already, so now you get it a third time.
Oh, Lord. Okay.
What's saving your life right now?
Oh, girl, you're going to be shocked at my answer because people
Maybe
don't
not.
talk about this. People
Well,
don't
let's
talk
hear
about it.
Let's hear it.
GLP-1 drug.
Oh, I love this.
GLP-1, tirzepatide is saving my life right now, and people don't talk about it. Why?
Yeah.
Why?
Yeah.
It is, I've lost 60 pounds.
Love it for you.
I have, and I did half of that before I knew that tirzepatide existed, so I did it the hard way, and now I'm doing it another hard way. It's still hard, no matter how you look at it.
Yeah.
But I was born with food noise. I was just born with the chatter always. I used to go into the hallways when I was in middle school, and people would ask me to sign their bathroom pass because they thought I was a substitute. I've always been a big old girl. And I tell you what, it's saving my life. I'm
love it.
healthier. I am moving with my kids and going and traveling and walking more. I'm loving life. I'm having more sex, better sex. And I don't finish a meal and think about the next one.
Yeah.
I get to work. I get to travel. I get to do things. I feel more free. And so that is saving my life.
It's a great
Was
answer.
that okay
I
to
love
say?
this. Oh, Mike, are you kidding me? I'm so happy for you. You look gorgeous. You always have. You really always have. But you look amazing right now, and I can tell you feel it.
I do.
And thank you for just sharing that with us. That is, we prize honesty around these parts. So yay, you. Last thing, tell everybody listening or watching where they can find you, where they can follow you, because you're so fun to follow. Where would you love them to find your book? All these questions.
You can find me on Facebook, Melissa Radke. You can find me on Instagram at Miss Melissa Radke, because someone had already taken Melissa Radke, so I had to put an MS in front of it.
Yeah.
You can find me on TikTok. I have a lot of fun on there. And the book is anywhere you buy your books at. You can get it on Amazon, wherever you buy books at. I have been thrilled to be here today. I can't attest to my complete faithfulness on social media. I don't do it every single day, but I'm really good at my Insta stories, because I take people in my life, all over my life there. But I've had so much fun here today, but mainly I'm just left thinking about that velvet jacket. That's all I'm left thinking about.
Listen,
and then I'm going to be in the
it's as good as a guarantee. You're going to have to write another book.
Don't worry, I've already got the title in my head, and it's hysterical, and because that's what I do. I make women laugh, and I am okay with that.
I love this so much. Well, you're so chef's kiss to you. I love you. I love watching you. I love listening to you. I love laughing with you. So thank you for coming on yet again to the show. Can't wait for the 4-peat. And can't wait for the next book. Can't wait for all of it. So, okay, sis. Thanks for being here.
Thank you.
All right, you guys, thank you for being here. I know that you enjoyed her, because you can't not. So everything we've talked about, I'm going to put over at jenhatmaker.com under the podcast tab. So I will round up the show notes for you, all of the links to Melissa's books, her socials, everything, so that you can follow her. I'll link to her show, The Radkes, because she's such a hoot. Also, you can always watch any of our episodes over on my YouTube channel, which is sometimes fun. Of course, that's how we experience every podcast, by looking at each other and looking at our guest. So I think that's the superior way. But also, just one thought: if you're over at jenhatmaker.com, under podcast, we have a button on that page called Send Voicemail, and we would love to hear from you. Anything that you loved about this episode, something you related to, your 2 cents on anything that we talked about, just hit that button and you can leave us a message for a minute or two. We'll listen to everything, and a bunch of those messages are going to make it onto the show. So let us know what you think. Contribute to the conversation any which way you'd like to, and we love to hear your voices. All right, you guys, that is it. Thanks for following the show. Thanks for subscribing, and more to come this year. We've got so many good guests up ahead. All right, see you next week.